Good morning to everybody on the wide world web. Today we're starting a brand new project and we're taking you along for the ride with us. Let me do a quick introduction of who I am and we'll show you what we're about ready to build, the backyard project. Just a man who likes to do burnouts, and I do construction work mainly in managerial. My name is David, and what you're looking at is a photo of me in my high school years. I was working as a taxidermist as well, performing new construction and building of custom cabinets for kitchen remodeling. Notice the giraffe in the background as well as the cinder block wall. I was fortunate at the age of 13 to get to build this building as the helper for a man named Leo, who taught me everything I know today. Who would figure it that doing taxidermy work or the arts and craft would turn me into a really good construction worker that's able to build something square, flush, and plumb. While working at the taxidermy shop after school, I was very fortunate or really blessed to meet these two brothers that I worked with for a few years already. They knew the courses I was taking in basically school as well as going to attend in college. I wanted to become an engineer or get into some kind of construction work, more on the managerial or the office end of the building. These two brothers started up a cabinet shop next door to the taxidermy shop. They persuaded me to come on over. They knew the abilities I have to be organized as well as blueprinting. This was pre-computers back in the 80s. What you're about ready to look at was the first kitchen I drafted up, blueprinted. For the cabinet shop, I ended up joining. We ended up performing reface services for the Bay Area residents. This is where I got my biggest experience in managerial. I was running 17 crews or close to 35 guys out in the field, as well as 15 shop workers cutting, preparing the products that we were going to deliver and install for the Bay Area homeowners. If you look at the style, you could tell it's the 80s, late 80s. And what you're looking at is actually a reface / custom. Now, these projects I was measuring for the custom cabinet shop, even the refacing, now keep in mind, this is a reface / custom. They were big. Look at that. This had 2 refrigerators in the kitchen. I don't know if you noticed from the other photo. Look at the pantry. Hey, we were that cabinet shop. And see, I use the word we because I really enjoyed being part of a team. Made furniture for the client. All right. So anyway, what happened was computers came out. Really, my drafting skills weren't needed. C's Candy, as well as these brothers, they came to me and they said, hey, look, we could get somebody cheaper now with the computers than have you. You got to start your own custom cabinet shop because we have love for you. So off I went. Basically started up my own cabinet shop. This is me back in 1995. We're in this magazine. Okay, and we had a cabinet shop as well as a showroom. Okay, what you're looking at is the photo of our cabinet shop. Another section of it. and one of our workers out in the field. Ask me what I consider I am. I'm a general contractor by license. Basically in 2 different states, multiple classifications under those licenses. I'm definitely commercially aware. Okay, when custom cabinets was big, we were selling custom cabinets. When solid surface Corian was basically being sold, we were doing that. Right now, new construction is my thing. I see the market, I see the value, and I'm here in New Mexico, basically doing new construction. That backyard project will have a shed that represents the same construction methods as the house. What we're looking at, by the way, is the college I attended to, a picture of it with the 1979 Daytona Special. That's the bike I rode back in 1979. I was burning rubber, doing taxidermy and basic custom cabinetry, as well as building the facility that I was working out of. Anyway, let's get to work on the new backyard project. We're going to go ahead and multitask, double check this basic material list for the shed. Tell you about what I've been doing for the last couple of years. So pretty much I was remodeling homes in the Bay Area. There's no basic lots to develop over there anymore, so I was basically cleaning up the residents' homes in the Bay Area. As of 2008, I was actively flipping homes right to the end of relocating to New Mexico. Oh, by the way, our assistant editor just came in. This is where I introduce our editor. She wants to stay anonymous. Okay, she's the creator of the YouTube channel. She as well as the person who gave me the nickname the Wise Guy when I was 19 years old. All right, let's talk about today's project we're starting. What you're looking at is what I drafted up for the Association for approval. Let me say right now, the emphasis on this is small, like the mini shed 10 by 10 by 10 feet high that we're going to build. And we're going to match this shed exactly to the construction of our residence. This will give the backyard property basically some serious curb appeal. All right, as we look at the lot map, let me point out where the shed location is. In front of that is going to be a 10 by 12 concrete patio with a very cool plexiglass gazebo installed. It'll have fan misters as well as custom lighting. Also on the project backyard, we're going to have a 12 by 12 viewing deck with a fire pit materials, Trex color brown. There's going to be 2 areas, a huge area of artificial turf on each side of the deck. Let's get this project started, and let me tell you first, before I show you where we're going to conduct all of our meetings from. One of my biggest strengths to communicate effectively to all involved into a project, doesn't matter if it's a buyer, a worker, subcontractor, is my ability to draft up what we're about ready to build. Now today we got 2 tasks to tackle, which is the introduction of this project, making a video for the Wide World Web viewers, as well as starting to bring the aggregate and backfill materials that we're purchasing. What we're looking at is a drawing that I basically, how I came with the calculations of 40 tons is needed. Anyway, the aggregate company is coming with the material. Now, a lot of these tasks I'm going to take upon myself because they're too small to even bother trying to find a worker to do them. All right, so what we're looking at is where I'm going to place the piles, the diagram. This diagram would go to a worker. All right, it's pretty much giving him everything he needs. The emphasis on this one is protect that driveway with some CDX. Be cautious of the gas meter. This is telling them we got some backfill grading to do, where to place it, and as you see, where to dump or create each pile. What we're looking at now is the diagram for the plumbing or the irrigation system that needs to be installed prior to concrete being poured. This diagram will include the materials needed to be brought on site, as well as the placement of the 1/2-inch supply that's needed for the garden hose, faucet, as well as the drip system. Now we're looking at the electrical diagram. We're going to run 2 new circuits for the backyard project. It's given also the material needed. Now, the big emphasis here when it comes to conduit, let's get at least installed ASP where the concrete's to be poured. This is our concrete diagram. The yellow is illustrating the placement. The emphasis on this is 3,000 PSI. We're going to send this drawing out to some subcontractors to see how they do as far as giving us a price that's on budget. My role in the backyard project will consist of my managerial skills to operate it so we see a high profitability. It don't matter if I'm working for myself or a group. What we got is 4 tasks that need to be done ASP because the weatherman's forecasting bad weather, snow. I need this concrete in place ASP, and I need this shed vertical. We need to produce this project in a timely manner and as efficient as possible, and being very frugal with our resources. About ready to start this YouTube channel with all you on the wide world web. I'm looking forward to it. I've always tried to be commercially aware. I figure after I finish this project, we'll use the YouTube channel to market my services in new construction. I would really like to get together with a good group of men that like to always achieve better than the time they did before, show a higher profitability annually for any group, and to basically give a product to the buyers that anybody would be proud of. Anyway, let's get outside, let's get to work, let's knock this out in a timely manner while staying safe and clean. Working our way into her garage, that's where we'll be having any venues or staging of the next task for the project. I want to right now take this moment to thank you for watching along. Also to say sorry for the poor job I'm doing with my brand new GoPro. No excuse, it's my first time. I will constantly try better. Let's get into the garage. And we're entering the wife's garage where we're going to stage the project out of. And yes, we're into riding motorcycles. Anyway, this is a 883. It's the wife's. This is my Harley. Yeah, I still like to burn rubber as much as possible, but let's get to the project. I got to open up a block wall today, one of my tasks, so we could get the skip loader that we're going to rent from Home Depot to have a safe passage through it while I bring in the material. We got 3 tasks to do before we could get to the concrete being poured. Let's get started. I'm glad you're coming along for the ride. See you outside.